So in the spirit of the Halloween season, there's a channel collaborating with others to make these video essays on scenes they find to be, well, horrifying. Be it that from scary movies to just regular movies that so happen to have an underlying fear element placed onto them. I decided I would take part, even though I am still relatively new to the game of these video essays, but find some enjoyment in making them. And I thought what else than to pick what many call to be the greatest horror movie of all time. The Exorcist. Now the challenging part would be to pick out a single part of the movie to talk about, which is difficult considering this movie is quite full of them. But there is something specific about this movie that I find to be what troubled me the most. Early on in this movie, we are introduced to a priest, Father Karras, who is going through some hardships with his mother, who is a mentally ill old woman who ends up passing away in a mental hospital. This obviously has some bad effects on our main character that take him down some dark rabbit holes as the movie progresses, which involved him losing his faith. But once a little girl gets possessed, it brings to him as a one opportunity to redeem that once lost faith to save this child's life. So there we have our setup. But where is the horrifying moment? That would be the manipulation tactics this demon uses against Karras, having the child speak in the voice of his mother and torment him while he is in the room trying to cast the demon out. You can see the struggle he is having with containing his emotions, because the more he lets the demon aggravate him, the stronger it is going to get. At first he doesn't believe the girl is really possessed, which is why when the demon first mentions his mom, he doesn't think anything of it. It isn't until once he truly believes there's a demon in her is when he starts to truly haunt him. The demon speaks in his mom's voice, begging him to answer as to why he left her in that hospital. There's even a moment where it takes on the form of his mom in the hospital bed, which will forever be ingrained in my mind.
Dime, why you do this to me? Please, Dime, I'm afraid.
In religious ideology, demons are supposed to be masterclass manipulators, and this movie shows how good it is at doing just that. There are moments where Karras and the demon are having seemingly basic conversation. It shows the complexity of the spirit inside of Regan. It isn't just aggressive 24/7, there are scenes where it's mellowed out and it's just talking. And it's those scenes that made me the most uncomfortable, knowing the full power of this creature, and yet here it is, in the bed, just chatting away. The demon isn't very interested in the little girl, it is interested in Karras. Even from the moment they first met, it's clear that it is a challenge between the priest who is struggling to keep his faith and the demon trying to exploit that. Which is why by the end of the movie, Karras doesn't free the little girl in the form of an exorcism, but by giving up his own body to let the demon get what it wants before throwing himself out the window, and the very last thing he does before he dies is confess, showing that his faith was restored. He sacrificed his life for this little girl, which is something he would not have done for her had it not been for his restoration in his faith. The Karras at the beginning of the movie would not have done that. If a character in a film performs an act that is something you know for a fact is something they would not have done if it was their character in an earlier part of the film, you know you've got at least a little ounce of growth. What makes this movie special is that the demon possessing the girl has its own character. It has a personality. The atmosphere changes instantly when they enter her room, and it is when the demon takes on Karras' mother that we see the true intentions and the true evil behind this character, making it, at least for me, one hell of a horrifying moment in film.